Nation, what's good? It's your boy AJ back again. It's Nets News. Hashtag we go hard. You guys already know Brooklyn forever. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, hit the notification so you don't miss a video. And make sure you guys follow me on Instagram at NetsKingdom711. I don't know if I'll stream the game because it's national, but you know, Nets Nation overseas be hitting me in the DMs. My bro dems in Philippines be hitting me in the DMs, so they might, you know, I don't know. But anyway, just want to wish you guys a Merry Netsmas. I hope Santa brings us a win under our trees. So Merry Netsmas. Hope your families are good. Now let's get into it. The Celtics starting lineup. This is what I'm going to predict the Celtics starting lineup to be because of the last game they played. They start Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Daniel Thesis, and Tristan Thompson, aka TT. That's what I call him. And their key players off the bench, well, they only have one player, basically, is Jeff Teague, he's like their version of Karras for us, but he's not as good and he's not as lethal. But they use him as like a sixth man to bring energy, and he shot well last game. I think he made like 3 for 3 off the 3-point line in the Bucks game. So we got to watch out for Jeff Teague. Now, the Celtics offense is not rocket science, y'all. It's ran through Tatum and Brown. It's just a whole bunch of ball screens and double screens for them to get open and get a mismatch. They like to play iso ball and score off the screens. So the offense is run through them. So if we contain them like we did in the last preseason game, we'll be fine. Now, I broke down the Celtics' weaknesses into 5 key points. Now, the number one I have is the Celtics are inconsistent. They're very streaky. They don't put a lot of strings of good possessions together. Now, last game, Tatum was 12 for 28 and Jaylen Brown was 13 for 24. Now, don't get me wrong, Jaylen and Tatum are going to score. They're going to score regardless because they're so very elite, but sometimes they're inconsistent and they'll shoot themselves out of the game. Like, think about that, 13 for 24 and 12 for 28. Combined, that's 52 shots between them. So they're going to take a whole bunch of shots, y'all. It's like, remember how we had Russ and KD? Remember those Russ and KD days when it was like my turn, your turn? Who's going to score, your turn, your turn? Like, that's the kind of offense they have. Like, it's whoever like is feeling hot, and there's a lot of iso ball between them. Now, my second weakness for the Celtics is the fact that they play too much of the iso ball. Now, they don't have a lot of ball movement in the Celtics offense. It's basically just Jason and Jaylen just passing who scores next, who's hot, like that, getting all ball screens. The Celtics offense is basically centered around them setting ball screens for Jaylen and Jason to get open to shoot threes or to create off the dribble. Now, Jason got a lot of go-to moves, so I'm going to key point these moves. Now, if you guys see here, he has a lot of hezzy crossover step backs. His go-to move is the hezzy crossover step back 3, and he likes to do a little hezzy crossover sidestep 3. And he sets you up. He sets you up making you think like he's going to drive, but Tatum's nature, I watched a lot of Tatum, his nature is to hit that step back 3. Like, he wants to hit that 3. He doesn't want to take you to the basket. He's going to act like he's going to cross over hezzy to take you to the basket, but he wants to hit that step back 3. His other go-to moves is out of the post. It's like a spin with a pump fake. It's a half pump fake, but just to get you off balance to get his shot off. He likes to score off the post. It's kind of like what Kobe used to do. Kobe used this move a lot. He likes to score off the post. So I brought up this video where what Giannis did wrong in this instance. Like, the game was on the line, so I don't expect us to play, or we're gonna play this differently in our heads in Brooklyn Nation. So what Giannis did wrong is here, you see how Jason Tatum is hezzy crossover, setting him up like he's about to drive on him, and he got Giannis off balance. But the key right here, what Giannis should have done is you got to get into Jason's airspace. You got to get into his space to make him drive. You know what I mean? Because Jason wants to get back to his step back to hit that 3. Trust me, he never really sets up people to drive. He sets up to get that step back. So if you're in his airspace and you crowd up on him, force him baseline to our help, whether you have DeAndre or Jarrett there to just block that or rim protect, then you'll be fine. But what Giannis did here is Jason got him off balance and was able to create space for that step back. Now, my third key weakness, is the center play. Now, the Celtics, I talked about this in my last video. The Celtics center play is very bad, y'all. They start 2 centers. Think about it. They start 2 centers in their lineup, right? TT and Thesis. And Thesis is just going to space the floor. What he does is just kind of stand out, side and give Jason Jalen like an option so they can shoot the three. And his 3-point percentage is 34%. So it's not bad for a big man, but he's not going to do much but rebound and just space the floor so he can get an open shot and take a three. And TT, you know what TT does? He just gets rebounds, offensive rebounds. So we got to box him out because his key thing is offensive rebounds. And all we have to do, honestly, because their center depth is not big. Since they start two of their centers, if we get them both in foul trouble, it's going to be very, very like obsolete for the Celtics. Like they're going to be done up. Because if they get in foul trouble, they're going to have to go to their bench with Robert Williams. And trust me, Brad Stevens doesn't want to give Robert Williams minutes like that. He does not want to give him minutes. Robert Williams minutes. He's a growing player, but he doesn't want to give him a lot of minutes, y'all. So if we get Thesis and TT in foul trouble, if we just get aggressive and go to the basket, we'll be fine. Now my fourth weakness the Celtics have is our small ball lineup. Now I talked about this in my last Celtics video about us going small, and it's crazy because I predicted that, and then Steve Nash kind of used it in the preseason game, and it was so effective, y'all. It was so effective. Our small ball death lineup, which I call it the death lineup, is basically 7-11, Joe Harris, Karis LeVert, and Jeff Green at the 5. Now that lineup is so lethal, y'all, because we're able to switch everything. It spaces the floor for driving lanes. They got to respect everybody's three. Think about that lineup, y'all. They got to respect everybody's three-point shooting ability on the floor. So I pray Steve Nash figures out that that's our most dangerous lineup. He should use this lineup in the game on Christmas, because it would be so effective, y'all. It'll be so effective. And then my fifth weakness for the Celtics is their zone play, yo. The Celtics struggle with zone. You guys saw it in the playoff last year. Miami Heat used that 2-3 zone and it shut the Celtics down. Now, I don't expect Steve Nash to use this because this is like a playoff tactic. This is a regular season game, so I don't expect him to use this, but I'm just gonna make this a highlight for you guys because you guys should know the Celtics' weaknesses. Now, the 2-3 zone, the reason why the 2-3 zone and zones work on the Celtics so much is because it cancels Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Like, their offense is basically run off ball screens for Jason and Jaylen to get open and create space. What the zone does, it shuts that down. So it eliminates the ball screen action the Celtics run with Tatum and Brown. So their offense gets slowed down, and then they have trouble because they don't really have a lot of shooters on the outside. So then they have trouble like when they pass it out, and they got to rely on people who are not really shooters like that. So it really hurts them, you know, it really hurts them. So those are my key 5 Celtic weaknesses. If we do any of those, or if we do all 5 of those, trust me, we were gonna blow out the Celtics by 20 or 30. Now the Celtics, I don't think the game, in my opinion, if we block up on defense, I think this will be a 20-point win, maybe 15. But I don't know. I don't think it's going to be as bad as the Warriors, y'all. I don't know if it's bad as the Warriors. I hope to be wrong, y'all. I really hope to be wrong, but I don't think it's going to be bad as the Warriors, though. But yep, let me know in the comments how you feel about the Christmas game. Do you guys think that our death lineup will you think Steve is going to go to that death lineup with 7-11, Karis, Joe Harris, and Jeff Green at the 5? Do you guys think he'll use that death lineup? How much you guys think we'll win by? How much do you guys think we'll lose? Celtic fans, let me know in the comments, because I know y'all were in my last video or Celtics video. Y'all was like, no, this is cap. Like y'all was all talking hot and stuff. So y'all let me know in the comments how the Celtics roll. It's a Merry Netsmith, Brooklyn gang, BK forever. I'm out. Holla at your boy. I'm out, y'all.